to help convince her that inside the trailer is better than out here. I'm obsessed with blocker tie rings. Okay, we have one thing we have going on here is a relatively high trailer. Right there, she almost stepped on me. Okay, so I'm looking for some kind of movement with her back feet. She goes lap. Make sure I can move those feet because I might need to use this exercise to help convince her that inside the trailer is better than out here. Her stifle? Oh, is that right? The right stifle? So there's no pain in that, but it's malformed? Yeah. She actually looks really smooth.
She does, and it's not super jerky to ride. She just wants to be like confirmation down to like a ranch riding class or something.
Yeah. Okay, when I ask her to change directions, watch her front feet. Remember, I'm going to point in the direction I want those front feet to step. So I'm not going to pull her across me. I'm going to point this way. So I'm guiding her in that direction. And if she doesn't go, then I'm going to step in, use my flag, tap, 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 move those front feet over. Good. Now she can start her circle. Yield the hindquarters. Point. Good. So she's actually given me a lot more shoulder movement than I thought she would, and it's probably because you worked with her a bunch yesterday. So you probably got most of that stickiness out of her. Now right there she tried to come into me a little bit, but not bad. Some horses, they are really, like you said, you added pressure and she wanted to come on top of you. When horses feel high pressure, they want to lean into that pressure. It's because like back, when they were evolving and predators were attacking them, if a dog bit a horse in the belly or in the flank, if they tried to pull away, they're going to rip that flank open. So they try to push into the dog to avoid being ripped open. So that's why horses have a tendency to lean into you when they feel pressure. So you want them to yield to pressure coming to, if you pull on them, they should come toward you, but their natural inclination is to pull away from you if they feel pressure. And then if you push on them, their inclination is to push back. So we're trying, right there. So there when I asked her, she came straight forward, right? So I'm just going to correct her right there, back her up. And I'm going to let this plane fly over. So loud. So if when I ask her to step to the side with her front feet and she comes forward, I'm gonna stop her, back her up, and send her the other way. So I might just yield. Make sure she doesn't walk forward when you yield. Then I'm gonna point again and send her the same way. Pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go to the lead beside exercise, and the lead beside exercise is what you were really struggling with, right? You're in here closer to her. So if she wants to lean into me, I'm just going to bring that flag to her neck and shoulder and bump her away with it. If I want her to speed up, I'm tapping the butt. Point, cluck, tap the butt to speed up. Good girl. Yeah, she looks like she would be a real smooth. Right there, she kind of cut into me, so I immediately bring the flag to her shoulder and neck. And if I have to, I'm going to bring the flag out in front of her face like this to get her to move over. The more basically aggressive she tries to get into my space, the further I get towards her head. And even across the nose if I have to here to get her to move that front end away from me. Good girl. The training flag is nice. Sometimes the flag doesn't work as well because there's drag with your movement. So if your horse really drives their shoulder into you, sometimes the flag gets in the way a little bit. But for the most part, you can get your flag up near their eye and just get them to step away like that. So I'm going to desensitize a little. So you're getting in my space there. Desensitize a little when I can. Make sure she's not reactive to this flag, because I'm going to be using the flag getting in this trailer. I moved her away. So here she wants to come towards me. So I'm going to add pressure there. So anywhere from her neck to her ribs, I can add pressure with this flag to move her away. And if I'm not getting movement, I'm just going to stick with her until I get movement right here. And really I'm looking to get a leg yield. Either a counter bend away from me or a leg yield away from me if she gets into my space. But about the length of that flag, which is 3.5, 4 feet long, is how far away I want her to be. If she gets any closer than that, then I want to add energy to that flag until she starts to move away. Right here. I'm going to yield. Change directions. Good. So this flag is really effective for her by putting it up in her eye. That really helps her move the front end over. You will find it's an effective tool for her. She's sensitive enough where she's like, I don't want that waving in my face, so I'm going to move away from it. That's what she's thinking. Now, as I start to desensitize over the top of her, you see her energy comes up a little bit. So I'm going to desensitize a little, then retreat and rub her. My first and foremost, I want correct spacing with her. Secondly, I want correct movement and consistency of movement. So if I want her to trot, she should just stay trotting. So spacing, movement, and lateral flexion. She should be bent to the inside, nose to the inside. And then I can start working on the flag desensitizing. So I know we're doing trailer loading, but I'm working on all these things while we're doing trailer loading, because these things are key to her being able to trailer load well. Will she respond? Will she be responsive, and relaxed? Yeah, so that's kind of the transfer of this exercise to the trailer. Is I'm in close proximity, I'm desensitizing, she's being soft and responsive, she's not being reactive, and I'm also I'm able to move her feet out here correctly. So if I need to do this to incentivize resting inside the trailer, I can do that as well. So I'm kind of killing that bird with this stone as well. And that is I'm moving her feet a lot outside the trailer. And then when I get her to the trailer, she's going to find rest. Good girl. Very good. She's giving me good spacing. So now I'm going to do the pass-through exercise on both sides of the trailer. I'm going to do it over here first. So pass through. See how I want her feet to go to her right, her front feet to go to the right, not forward. So she's going forward, right there. So she went to the right. Now she's kind of hugging me a little bit there, but I'm okay with that because she's not comfortable with the trailer yet. But this pass-through exercise along the trailer, my goal is for her to walk comfortably past the trailer, not lean into me when she does it, and also stop her at the trailer. She should be able to stop at the trailer. That's too forward. She should be able to stop and relax at the trailer. So after I get this pass-through pretty good, then I'm going to start asking her to stop when she's between me and the trailer. See right there. Good. So she's more comfortable passing with the trailer on her left side, which doesn't surprise me, because her right side is more, she's more nervous about her right side. Now, I haven't worked on the pass-through exercise with her in any other environment. You see on that side, when she's passing with the trailer on her left side, she will approach the trailer. She walks all the way to the trailer and then past it. But here, she wants to avoid that and wants to lean into me a little bit. I'm just going to see if I can get her to get curious about the trailer right there. Good. So getting a horse to stand at the trailer, tied at the trailer, that's beautiful. And using a blocker tie ring is a great idea to do that. I'm obsessed with blocker tie rings. They're really good tools. So sometimes when that behavior is real inconsistent, I like that right there. If a horse sets back every once in a while, then what I'll do is set him up with a blocker tie ring, and then I'll do some training with him. Not just have him tied at the blocker tie ring, but actually stimulate a setback. So I'm going to overstimulate him and cause him to set back. And when he sets back with the blocker tie ring, he's going to pull and he's going to be able to move his feet. And then I'll wait till he stops. And when I mean set him off, like I'm going to add some pressure and desensitize him, and he might get a little bothered, then he might set back. So if I can get him to set back and walk and figure out that he can move when he does, you can usually train him out of that, where then it just doesn't happen all of a sudden. You're basically working on you're creating the problem to work on it. It might be something we might want to film with him, like on how to help a horse that occasionally sets back. Right there. So that's the first time that she actually offered to stop as she came forward between me and the trailer. Is she close enough to the trailer where I would be 100% okay with this? No. I would rather that she's closer to the trailer, but this is a good starting point. So I might back. Yeah, because of my size. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, that look. So look at that. She stopped between me and the trailer, and there's not a lot of space between her and the trailer. There's more space between me and her than from her to the trailer. That's what I'm looking for. This is almost perfect. Maybe ask her for a little bit more. Let's see. And you'll see as she starts to come past me, she's going to want to start to lean into me. But that's pretty good there. Let's see if we can get her to stop here. Drop my hand. People will say, well, how do you get them to stop? You stop asking them to go. So how do I stop asking them to go? Back her up. I just drop my lead hand. So when I'm doing lead beside exercise, I point. The higher I point, the faster I want them to go. But when I drop my hand to neutral, that's their cue to stop. Now, I've already desensitized her during lead beside, so I'm pretty sure that she's not going to spook away from that flag on her offside, but you still have to be careful. When I say offside, I always mean the other side from where you're standing. The technical name of offside is the right side, but I don't like that, because the only reason they call the right side the offside is because everybody always used to mount from the left side. I like to do it on both sides of the trailer, because each side looks different to the horse. It's a different environment. Same trailer, but different side, different environment on this side. See how she's leaning into me? Back her up, move those front feet over. Good. Right there. See if she'll stop there. So she leaned into me a little on that stop, but at least she stopped. Back her up. Right there. Better. Good girl. So she's pretty relaxed with that trailer next to her. And you've done a lot of the hard work. You've gotten her you're tying her to it. Oh, Amazon, huh? Oh, good girl. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with those two stops, left and right. Now I'm going to do the same thing behind. Send her through a few times. I like that a lot. Nope, back up. So you see, if she starts leaning into me, I go right to her head with that flag. Back her up a little. Good, I like that. Here, go to her head.
She hasn't even hardly broken the sweat.
Yeah, that's good. She doesn't seem very nervous at all, right? Everything she's doing right now is telling me she's ready to start working in the trailer. Okay. Okay, we have one thing we have going on here is a relatively high trailer. You know, that's a good height. There's trailers that are higher, trailers that are lower. So the higher the trailer, the harder it's going to be to step back off of it. Another thing we have is a short trailer. So the trailer bed itself, from this end to there is about probably 10 feet. And then on this side, it's about 7, maybe even 6 feet, 6 and 9 feet or something. 6 and 9 feet. So there's not a lot of room, but it does angle to the left. What I'm going to start to do is I'm going to try to see if I can load her 1 foot at a time. Now, if she gets 2 front feet in, that's not bad. But I'm going to try to avoid getting all 4 feet in, because once all 4 feet go in, right there, once all 4 feet go in, now I've got to try to get her back out. What I want to do is get her to relax with 2 feet in, 1 foot in, and then 2 feet in. Right there, she almost stepped on me. But I'm trying to catch her before she comes all the way in. If a horse can't stand with 2 feet in and 2 feet out, then they're going to be really uncomfortable trying to back out of the trailer. So it's just one of those steps that I work on. So here's 1 foot in. I want her to be able to stand here with 1 foot in and be relaxed to that. This is about getting her to first of all, get used to having 2 feet, 1 and 2 feet in. Getting used to that position, but it's also getting her used to listening to me and doing what I'm asking her to do with it, and realizing that I'm not going to ask her to do something that's going to hurt her. I try to be aware that she might try to jump in all the way in, so I'm going to try to avoid that. Every once in a while, a horse will jump all the way in, and if I can't back him out, I'll just turn him around and start again. It's not the end of the world if you turn her around. If she gets in and you turn her around, she's been doing it for a couple years probably now anyway. But am I going to try to avoid that? Yeah. Good girl. Yeah, she has a very quiet energy about her. When I first saw her, I thought she had a nervous energy, but she really naturally has a quiet energy, which is cool. I like her. And she's sweet. She hasn't pinned her ears once at me. And now I have 2 feet in, and I'm going to take her back out. Now you notice that I'm on her left side. Now if she'll leave 1 foot up, that's great. I'm on her left side, and she's kind of got me cornered over here on the left side. So I am going to back her up. I'm not going to try to correct that when she's halfway in and she's just trying to get used to having her feet halfway in. I'm going to correct it when she's out like that. Then ask her to step in right there. So here she moved over to this side. So remember, and this is why the groundwork is so good. It's so important. It's important to be able to move those front feet over. The front feet and the hind feet over. Good girl. And she's a little overcorrected to her right now. I'm okay with that. The only time I'm not okay with that if there's like a ramp and she might hurt herself on the edge of that ramp or something. But the tendency when I'm on this side is for her to move her butt, swivel it over to my right, to her left. Good girl. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorry, baby. So I tried to stop her from coming in, and she kind of threw her head into the ceiling. So now she got in. I wasn't asking her to get in, but she got in. So let's just work with her a little here and see what we can get. I won't work more than probably 5 minutes at this. I'll turn her around if I have to. But all I'm trying to get right now is one little baby step, right? Right? Almost. Keep going. There. Good. Bring her back forward. Bring her forward. So what I want to do is remind her that, hey, if you just take a step back, I'll bring you forward. So she tries to charge forward. Yeah, she wants to charge forward into this corner. Now, if she gets a little aggressive with me, I'm going to get a lot more firm when she tries to throw me into that corner. I'm going to kind of put her in her place and really bump on her. Because that's a little bit of a bad habit there. Right there, and then bring her forward. And this trailer on it is actually a little more dangerous, I think, because she can corner you right here. Like, it's hard to get out of this. Right there. So she kind of moved her back feet laterally. I'm okay with that. Look at that. That was good. Good. Couple good steps. So we might be able to get the job done here, even though she got in sooner than I wanted her to. But again, I'm not going to make this the biggest deal in the world. If I can't back her out here, I don't mind turning her around. But because she's progressing, we'll just keep working on this. And I'm okay if she steps over there. Good job. Now that scared her, so now she's probably going to be a little less likely to step off, but that's okay. Right there, she got kind of firm with me, so I'm going to get firm back. As soon as she's moving her feet, bring her forward. Ask her again. Bring her forward. Now I'm going to move her over. So I want to be able to see these feet and be on this side as she steps off. Come forward, move her over. Good. As long as she's not being pushy on me, I won't be real firm with her. But if she gets pushy on me, I'll get real firm with her. Good. What I'm doing here is getting her to trust me that I'll back her up and I'll bring her forward. I'm not going to force her off. Right there, and then come forward. Good girl. You can start to see how important that forward and back is when I'm working with her on the ground, and why it took so much time to get her light with that on the ground first. Because this is key. Will she respond to me? Oh. She slammed into me with that head, so I'm going to get real firm with her. And I think I could get her to step off right now, but I'm going to just build her confidence a little bit more. Let's scoot over. She's pretty good about yielding over. I'm always reminded of what Monty Roberts said, and he said, if you act like you have all day, or if you act like you only have 15 minutes, it'll take you all day. If you act like you have all day, it'll take you 15 minutes. And it really is true. It's all about not being a predator with your horse. Just going with your horse and working with him, but not being your energy. Your horse feels that energy. And so if you feel like, I got to get this done, usually it goes poorly. But if your energy is relaxed and you're trying to achieve one thing, well, the only thing I'm trying to achieve right now is for her to step forward and to step back when I ask it. Ask her to come forward a little more. Scoot over. Good girl. Ask her to move over. Good girl. Good. Got pushy on me again. I have to keep working with her until she moves those feet over. Good girl. Yeah, that's where I wanted them. So she started not listening to me asking for her feet to move over her back feet. She's about ready to step off. What do you think? I'd say I went backwards just a little bit. She pushed real hard, threw her head into the ceiling again. Let's see if I can get a little movement. Right there. Forward. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry about her shifting her hips over on this left side. If she'll step off going this direction, I'm going to allow her to. Good girl. Stepped in the cold water. As long as I'm getting some movement when I ask for it, that's all I want right now. The big step is made of a bunch of little steps. And if I had been able to keep her on her back feet down a little more consistently with the front feet in, for a 5 or 10 minutes, this might have been a little easier, but that's okay. Did she actually touch the ground? Good. Got some horses in the background that are running around, kind of distracting her a little too. So that's what, 3 times she stepped off, but and if I were in a longer trailer, I'd be doing forward and backward throughout the whole trailer. So she'd be getting a little more steps going backwards. I like that. She's lifting that foot like she's thinking about stepping off. But as long as I have enough room to at least take a step or two, it's good enough. Yep. Same concept when you're getting a horse in a trailer. The horse will start to get in the trailer, and then people will rush the horse. And that's the time you want to actually take your pressure off, when they start to do the right thing. So with her, if she steps off, I'll just let her do her thing, whatever. Sometimes I'll try to keep her off a little bit, but I'm not going to try very hard to upset her. If she wants to step back in, that's fine. I'm trying to take away the claustrophobia that she feels. Move those hips over. In some ways, it might even be better to get her to back off on this side over here, because she doesn't have that. She's in a, she has a habit of turning to the left to turn out, right? So when there's space to her left, she wants to turn. So I'm having to try to correct that turn and get her to back up. Good girl. But if she's over here next to this wall, she can't turn as easily. That's 4 times she stepped off. Now sometimes it backfires on you, and they might step off and get scared and come back on, and then they have a negative experience, and so it actually makes them worse. We'll see. We'll get there, but just depends on what she thinks about that experience. She stepped off. There's 5. Little better. She's thinking about it. I'd prefer to back her off on this side. But if she, like I was mentioning, she has a tendency to turn to her left because there's all this space here. So if she moves over here and I can get her to back off on this side, I'm okay with that too. We'll correct the spacing and the direction after she gets it figured out to step off. So a lot of times that step off is going to be crooked. So I'm not trying to keep her straight. I guess the bottom line is I'm not going to try to keep her straight. I just want movement of those feet. There, she wasn't going backwards, but I wanted some movement of the feet, and so I got lateral movement. Good. She almost did it. Pushed on me again. Generally, that's getting better, but she still occasionally will try it. Get some movement? Good. Even if those back feet move laterally, I'm okay with that if she's at the edge. Right there. Like here, she's on the edge. If she'll move those feet over to her right, I'm going to release the pressure. Just want to get some kind of back hind feet movement. Right, left, or backwards. Okay, so I'm looking for some kind of movement with her back feet. She goes lateral, that's fine. But not forward. One of the quotes that I said one time, and I think it's something I came up with. It's sometimes we're so busy fighting with our horse that we miss the opportunity to reward the slightest try. So I have to be careful in this situation of like not getting flustered and just not getting so focused on trying to get her to do something that I forget to watch when she's trying to do something. The smallest try is if you reward that, that's where you get the real progress that matters. She's thinking about stepping off. So she'll move those back feet. There she goes. Added pressure to get those feet over. So when I don't feel like she's trying, then I have to add pressure. There's a good step. Good. So that time I added pressure. Good.
Your neighbor's good desensitizing.
Yeah. Even though I feel like she's getting a tad more confident with it. And now I'm being a little bit more persistent about maintaining back pressure until she actually starts to try to step off instead of bringing her forward. So I'm just maintaining this pressure, maintaining the pressure, weight on her, weight on her. Right there is good enough for me. Ask her again. Get pushy like that. Good. Okay, she's about ready to step off. Now, if you'll notice, when I'm asking her, I've got my elbow blocking her jaw, and I have my basically my whole arm, my forearm, is blocking her from coming into me, because you can get yourself knocked out in here where your horse will throw their head laterally. To the side. Laterally means to the side. That is her trying right there. Now, if she'll just rest her foot there, I'm going to give her a break right there. She'll rest her foot on the very edge, on that bumper. I'm okay with that. It's a good place to let her rest. Right there. Good girl. Now ask her again. Right there. Ask her again. And I've got my whole body ready because I've got her pinned in this corner, and it's possible she could charge forward or move to the side towards me. She can only go two directions, backwards or to the side towards me. Good. Even just picking her foot up like that, that was really good. Ask her again. Good girl. Good. Good. So I'm asking with some back pressure, and when she picks that foot up, release the pressure. Very good. Maybe he'll come forward again. And she is starting to stay more on this side. But you got to be careful, like when she steps off, she could lose her balance and throw herself this way or throw herself forward. So you have to be real careful and stay out of her way. So I've got myself positioned where I'm basically at kind of her nose. And if she should throw herself laterally to the side, she would throw herself in front of me, not against me. Good job. Good. Basically, I'm at this edge and I'm telling her, hey, I want you to try a little bit harder. So I'm keeping that pressure on until she starts to step off. Right there. And come back forward. Good girl. My goal would be to get her so comfortable backing off that you can do it here, and then you can go home and do it. Now, if you couldn't do it, I'd come over and help you. Maybe we film a little bit more. Pressure, 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 release. Pressure, 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 release. Come forward. That was a good step off the edge a little bit. Pressure, pressure, release. Good girl. Let's come forward a little better than that. It's scary to back off something so far. So I'm pressure, 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 pressure. Waiting for a change in her hind feet. Right there. Good girl. Pressure, pressure, pressure. A little more. Good girl. Now in a little bit I might just decide to turn her around and start again, but she's getting close. We'll see here. Yeah, yeah. This is exactly what they mean by the slightest try. Reward the slightest try. So, but I have kind of a level of what she's achieved, and that is she'll stand at the edge. And now the real try that I'm looking for is for her to lift that foot off and start to step it behind the edge. Whether she steps on that bumper right there, that's perfect. Come back forward. Right there. I'll just let her stand there for a while. Living on the edge.
And for how like nervous she is, she's not nervous. If that makes sense.
Yeah, she's kind of an internal nervous horse. Like, she's definitely very deathly afraid of stepping off of that. Otherwise, we'd have got it accomplished a long time ago. But,
But she's not like a blow up nervous.
yeah. Yeah, it's not like we've gotten this huge wreck, but I'm going step by step so that we don't get in that big wreck. So she's moving her front feet, but she wasn't moving the back feet. She's closing down on the back feet with the fronts. There's a good one. Ask her again. There's a good one. Ask her again. Right or left, it doesn't matter to me at this point, as long as she steps back a little bit with one of them. So she'd be even resistant to coming forward, so then I was pressuring her until she stepped forward. Whatever I'm asking her to do, I want her to be light at it. Forward or backwards. Pressure. So I'm just working that halter left and right, putting halter across the bridge of her nose. Good. Same thing I was doing when I was asking her with steady pressure to back up earlier on the ground. See, she keeps lifting that foot up, and that's good. That's when I add a little pressure, she's doing that. So I'm connecting the halter to her left hind, and that's good. Then I got to ask for a little bit more, not just lift it up, but how about move it back a little or drop it down right there. So watch, I pick up pressure, picks up her foot. Pressure, picks up her foot. Pressure, picks up her foot. And as soon as she starts to pick up that foot, I release the pressure. But I want to, in a minute, I'm going to hold that pressure longer because I want more than that. I want more than just a lift. I want to reach. Good girl. It takes a long time. It's kind of like exponential growth to your investment account. Like, it takes a long time to see any progress, but then once it starts to happen, it'll go exponentially up. She'll get much better, much quicker. There's a good girl. Oh, she's a little sweaty, this gal. She's probably afraid of heights like I am. I don't like to stand on the edge of anything. Let's go forward here. See, I'm asking her to come forward and she's not coming forward. Which is kind of, in a way, there's something about that I like because she's comfortable just standing on the edge. But really, she's kind of acting like she doesn't want to try very much. There's a good edge stand. There's a good one. And because you're in here close proximity with the horse, you have to be careful. Some horses will get flustered and they'll try to bite you here. So you have to watch out for that. If they open their, if you hear them open their mouth, you want to raise your elbow and disincentivize that behavior. You're almost there, baby. I do like how she's staying over here on the right, her right side. She's not shifting over anymore. So I got her to stand on the edge and she moved both front feet back. So that was the best she's done so far. She's pretty good at alternating legs. Like, she's not consistently using one leg versus the other. She's going back and forth. Come forward. Now I'm going to start asking for a little bit more. So I like that she raises that foot. Now I'm letting her rest, and instead of coming forward, I'm just going to let her rest there and then add a little pressure. That was the longest pause at the bottom. She almost stayed down there. A lot of times with horses, it's not what happens to them, it's what they believe about what happens to them that makes it a traumatic experience. So many times horses come to me and people are like, oh, they've been abused. And a lot of times it's just the nature of the horse. Like, I think there's in many cases where the abuse is not the case. It might be accidental, but usually it's like the horse just has a certain belief about what happened, and the human didn't know how to handle it. So I'm going to wait on her. That is some almost real intention of stepping off there again. I'm going to wait. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Good. Again. Good.
Ellie, I'm so proud of you.
Pressure, pressure, and release. Pressure. Good. Pressure. Good. Pressure. Pressure, pressure, and relief. Pressure. Now once she finally gets these back feet off, then she's going to get a nice long break and just get to stand there. She's like a quarter of an inch from the edge of that. Pressure, pressure, release, pressure, release, pressure, release, pressure, release, pressure, pressure, little pressure, release, pressure. Look at that. She's like, is this good enough? Good. Pressure. I'm watching myself because if she flings herself. Yay! Good job, baby. Good job. Oh, I knew you could do it. I knew you could. Now, in some cases, I might have just like 10 minutes ago turned her around, walked her out, started again. But today, I just wanted to see if we could get it without walking her back out. So I'm going to let her rest here.